Hello everyone, it's Sandro Stefanucci from Abstract Homes and Renovations. Today I have Paul McDonald from Ethical Waste Services Limited. Today we want to talk about hazardous materials removal. Lately it's been a real big issue, especially for Vancouver, and so we just want to get into what is a proper procedure. There's homeowners that people don't necessarily know what the contractor has to go through, and the process and that, and what legal implications if you don't do it properly, and or harm to the workers that are removing it. So we do it properly. We're assessing the home beforehand, and Paul's a professional on it, so I'm just going to get Paul to speak a little bit more about what it looks like for the procedure, and also maybe the legal implications of not doing it properly. So I'll just let you kind of take over from there.
You have to have a hazardous material report done before you can do any demolition, and that's just to protect all the workers and the people in the surrounding areas from being exposed to any hazardous material like asbestos, lead, PCBs, or anything else.
Okay, so you're talking about people getting affected by it. So say asbestos, we'll take that because everybody's got typically a house has got some asbestos in it. So what are the health implications of something like that?
Well, the health implications for asbestos exposure, one major disease called mesothelioma. It's like the hardening of your lungs. So if you're exposed to it for long periods of time, your lungs can't get rid of it, so they harden. So eventually you will suffocate to death. So you can't, and there's no cure. Right. And then there's a couple forms of cancer too that are really painful. And asbestos is the #1 killer of workers in Canada.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. So, say someone's been exposed to it, right? How long did they say it would take, for symptoms or something to show up?
For most of them, some of them between 20 to 30 years for it to show up in your system. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can be exposed right now and you'll feel fine, and 20 years later they'll tell you have 6 months to live.
Well,
and I've seen it happen. The procedure is basically to stop any material from exiting the work area or the structure. So you have to make sure all the windows are sealed. You have to have poly over any openings. Anywhere that air can escape, we close off. And then to protect it from getting out from there, we put a negative air pressure inside, which sucks all the air in. So anything that tries to get out gets sucked back into the containment where we work.
I know that there's contractors and others out there that are not following the procedure. So maybe we can just talk a little bit about those types of implications. What if you don't? So I heard some stories. So maybe you can just touch a little bit on that. We just talked about that briefly a little while ago.
Yeah, we hear a lot of stories being in the business. Lately, we were just doing a job in Langley, and one of the houses beside us, WorkSafe came and shut it down because there was crews of guys in there ripping out the asbestos drywall with no containment, with no respirators, with no suits, with no procedures.
Wow.
They were taking the drywall, ripping it off and putting it into a bin and trying to get away with it.
So was it WCB that came to that site?
WCB came to that site. They do random checks, and for companies that have previous infractions, they'll just show up on site. Like we've had WCB come by our site lots of times. They just come by, check to make sure you're doing things right, make sure everybody's safe.
Right.
And we've never had an infraction. So because we try to do things right, because you're sending people into this atmosphere knowing that they could potentially get these horrible diseases in 20 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are kids, like just starting out in the business.
Yeah. I mean, I would go as far as saying that you guys are committed, not trying, you guys are committed to actually doing it properly and making sure that no one ever has any issues, health issues down the road. Again, talking about falsification, documentation, we've seen that where WCB's actually caught somebody falsifying papers. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have had people, a couple of people we work with, they were informed by WCB that there was a report that didn't look right, and when they looked into the report, somebody, the contractor that was doing it, changed the address on the report saying the drywall is clean.
Oh, this is a legal report, by the way.
Yeah, this is a legal report. This is what WCB uses, and the city of any city uses that
Right.
to determine what needs to be done to safely remove all the materials from the house without anybody being injured or.
Correct. Now, that documentation is also third party too. So legal is
Yeah.
third party, so it's not the contractor doing it. You need a third party to do that, correct?
Yes, you have to be a qualified person to do that. You have to have the training, and you have to be able to know what to look for.
WCB is provincial. So now you're dealing with some legal issues, I'm sure, falsification, fraudulent, of those papers now that have been caught, possible fine, which I'm thinking for sure there's gonna be a fine, but we don't know for sure. But anyways, there's gonna be some heavy, if not, this guy's gonna get his license taken away from him.
They definitely will not be able to operate a business
Yeah,
in British Columbia.
right.
No, they will be shut down.
So the homeowner doesn't know this, so maybe he's hired a contractor to take care of this, like me, I'm get hired to do this home. So I'm taking care of, coordinating all the stuff that needs to get done, hazmat report and so forth. And I could have taken another report that was like the one that I've got here, and, we have definitely some asbestos and some, in areas here for sure that needs to get taken out properly. I could have, kind of whited out that paper and just photocopied it, and then I could have taken that and given it to, you, right? And because I want to save money, and then you got to come in with your workers knowing, there's not, just a little bit of this and this, so we don't have to do a whole bunch of protection, which is the case for here for sure.
Yep.
Now, I've lied, I get caught, they're going to stop me. The homeowner doesn't know, and he's going to have, at some part, he's going to probably have to pay way more for this remediation, and for one, the project will get slowed down for months, if I'm thinking for sure.
Yeah, this job that I'm talking about was shut down, and Worksite put a stop order on it, and the original contractor that came in and priced it low lost that amount of time, and now the next contractor that came in to fix everything, it's now costing him extra money. A lot, thousands and thousands of dollars more, because they ripped off stuff, and now everything is contaminated, and now you don't have a choice. Before, we could control it, and it would be more effective, but as soon as they start ripping it off, and it's everywhere, we have to take everything in the whole house is containing, so the cost just goes up astronomically.
Yeah. So this is another point. This is the very beginning of, say, taking down an old home to replace it with a new home. When you're dealing with a contractor, never ever base your decision on cost alone, and ever trying, everybody wants to try to save money, of course, and be as competitive as they can, but, these are questions that homeowners need to ask, and look at the paperwork, because it's your legal right to actually look at the paperwork and verify that what's going on in your home. So, for now, goodbye, we'll talk to you soon.